Sure. So there's a lot of ways that we can communicate from a staffing point is giving people those options and saying that there's nothing wrong with doing a hybrid type of service. It's just trying to honor it and making sure that we can accommodate everybody without overlapping and hurting anybody's feelings. And so I know a lot of the times when we do these multi-faith type of services, we might have a 2-day service. It might be an evening visitation where we'll have one of the pastors or one of the priests come in and do a prayer service in the evening, and then the next day we'll go to the church and then we'll have it there. But also when it comes to honoring certain things of like having video tributes and having certain customs during those traditional things. Like sometimes we went to a church yesterday for a service and they didn't have the equipment set up. They don't have the technology to run our video tributes. And the family really wanted a video tribute. So we were able to accommodate. We brought in our own system and set it up on a screen. So then they were able to project their video at the church. And again, we always need to try to get permission because some churches are still very liturgical and they want to just run by the rules of how the church is operating. And they don't like those types of outdoor type of video celebrations, things like that. And that's why when we talk to families, we always need to find out, will the church allow us to do certain things? And if not, maybe that's why they should have a funeral at the funeral home or at a neutral site. So then we're not impeding on anybody's rights, because I know we've had services at a Christian church and then we had a different faith come in and then they took the pulpit and then they kind of overran the whole service and it wasn't their place and time that they should have done that. So it's really getting the churches on board with the families and having an open line of communication. So then those types of things can be done in the right area at the right time. And so it flows, and it does. It's worked out beautifully in the past. We've had a couple ruffles in the past too, where we've had a couple glitches where different faiths will kind of collide a little bit. But most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, it's usually pretty seamless. And the best way to do those multi-faith type of ceremonies is at a neutral site, typically the funeral home, or just doing it at the graveside, or even if you're doing it at your own home or something, and allowing people to come where it's a neutral site. So then not one faith takes over then on the other.